Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in this space to honor Neng Thao Day. Neng Thao Day was established in 2017 to celebrate the life of Neng Thao and the work he inspired in the community and its youth. He was a charismatic young leader, ready to uplift his communities and inspire change. Neng believed in bettering Fresno through supporting communities and encouraging youth involvement. As someone who has had the opportunity to meet Ning, I can say he was an enthusiastic individual with big dreams to encourage love within his communities. His great energy could light up an entire room, and I admired the way he invited everyone to join the spaces and believed in equity. It's been an honor for Ning's family to reach out to HIP to commemorate him and this day. My name is Belvang, and for today, we've invited a few speakers to join us in celebrating Ning, including his family, past scholarship recipients, and community leaders. With that being said, I would like to invite Ning's family to this space to talk about him and commemorate today. Oh, I apologize. Maybe I should clarify myself. I just would like to invite Ning's family again to this space, Chia Tao, Thunder, and Ning's parents. So Ning's family, if y'all can go ahead and turn on your camera.
Actually, okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry for the hiccup. Please stay tuned with us. We had been in coordination and communication with Neng Tao's family in creating this virtual event and following a very strict itinerary. I do want to preface that, let me see, they are coming in at 10:05 and we might have just kind of started off a little early, but they should be coming on and joining us soon. And here they are. I'm really happy to introduce them.
Okay. Okay. Jennifer, is it our time to speak?
Yes, sorry about that. It is your time to speak right now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. We're well. Thank you everyone for joining us today to celebrate and then to help us remember our baby brother Ning. We have a few of us who would like to say a little bit about who my brother was and his passions and commitment for the community. But I'd like to first have my mom introduce a little bit about Ning and his character, and then I have my other brother Tu Yi who will be talking a little bit about some of Ning's work, and then the importance of educations, how he loved to embrace educations and youth empowerment, and I will conclude our how our family continue to carry on Ning's missions and work. So um, my mom, she's gonna be speaking in Hmong. So go ahead.
nhớ xong vấn đề nó của châu châu nè lúc còn học khi theo thanh thầu lúc còn học phần theo số lần số tu cho tôi xài qua sáng à của tụi mình tôi nên để nó cũng là nãy thon nè là nhà thanh thon là của cho mình tôi mình nhỏ lên nè vấn đề nó của là thả mình chỉ chọn để của tụi mình tôi nên mình nên cú giờ yêu lời đầu tết chậm lại cả đó nó thế này ý chữ lo nó lúc họ pia giờ nữa chờ hai tiền nữa sao cậu bên mong cậu yêu dân rộng yêu tổ khen hai tiền yêu giờ lên tư nó ý chữ thầu nó yêu lòng mà nó dễ sợ với thứ này bảo ba lệ tù sử dụng tàu của bảo liên đạo thầu nó mê lòng mà giờ của cho nó một số cái tin nên trả mà nó một giờ nó em một sau cho mình tôi mình nhỏ và lùi ý đi nữa thế giàu rồi nữa là ok cả sau một giờ tới lâu còn là cũng chơi thì còn là nó ít tôi chưa bự và này nhà nó bảo cho thế ba tụ thế ba thì lo thì giàu hơn tí gì cho mình nhỏ cho mình tôi mình xài cũng xài cả nên sau đó nên chỉ cho chăm mua cho họ hai tiền nên hai tiền vấn đềอยู่ว่าป้าโตหรือโตมาอยู่จุป้าอยู่ตัวแข้งเทียอยู่ว่าลูกโตหรือโตมาก็อยู่ลูกอยู่ตัวแข้งเทียก็อยู่จีชอบจำมอตัวอยู่ตัวแข้งเทียอยู่ชอบจำมอตัวอยู่เนี่ยอยู่จีหาเดียกูเนี่ยกูจีจีเป้าหลูเทียกูเนี่ยกูจีอย่าอีตัวเนี่ยว่าจีรงเจจีรงมัวเทียว่าเนี่ยจีสื่อลีว่าหรือตัวจีมัวเนี่ยหรือตัวมาเนี่ยจีจำมัวเปียจอนเนี่ยจีหาเดียเนี่ยจีรงลีจ้าrong ý à li wa bé nhớ đầu tết thì mình cả năm mà bé cho nên chỉ mong mà bé yêu trong tôi mình nhỏ thì lựa tổ tôn xài mà lựa chăm mua hai tiền yêu này yêu chỉ yêu mình nhỏ chứ trong chỉ yêu chăm mua khi đó lựa hai năng tất gì mà rong lên là năng mà là hai tiền nữa chỉ chăm mua việc họ hai tiền yêu này yêu chỉ giờ hai tiền chỉ bao lù là nó mua bên sự yêu tao yêu ở bên tôi chứ trong là nó thứ trẻ tao cho yêu nó thế dù này chỉ chỉ bảo luật sư chủ yếu thì chỉ bảo luật sư họ nó yên chế nó yên mua phải sự thế vấn đề và yêu lúc đầu là tôi yêu chủ lúc yêu chế năng vấn đề nhà nào yêu theo lúc đầu là tôi tất cả thế yêu chủ giàu xe hay thì yêu hay năng tư mà yêu theo lo tàu nữa hay thì trong ý là liệu yêu tròn đồng giờ yêu chỉ là yêu tôi khen hay thì yêu mong nó chỉ yêu chỉ là một cái lựa lựa luôn nó thì cái nhà năng đã chỉ chẳng hay thì cũng yêu số là cũng yêu lựa năng thì trong ý là yêu đây trong ý là tròn đồng và yêu đây đó số gì sự yêu chỉ yêu đó lúc học bảo để số gì giờ hay thì anh cho một cái chẳng là lúc học bảo tới chỉ tàu đây liên tới của hai trâu cho tôn xài sợ đờ và là giờ hai năng chơi giờ đi bên mong theo nên cho tôn xài mong nên chỉ cho chăm mua trâu hai tiền bây mong nữa nè theo nên chỉ cho chăm mua lần hai tiền nên chỉ giờ lần tư toàn nên hai liên đầu cũng bỏ toàn đầu rau hai tiền thầu cho mình nhỏ chơi yêu mà bây giờ nếu chỉ mà bây giờ cho đi tiểu open house là chỉ bỏ tên đầu mà nhà nó do cho tôn thành rồi mà nó chăm mua đồ là nhà là chỉ hai cái là nhà là chỉ một đó là một open house là chỉ quan bé to school nice tên đó còn đó ya vì lấy cha ya vì thì anh này cho luôn này chăm mua rồi bé cho anh này chỉ hả thì bé giờ mong thì bé chỉ bảo lù tất nhiên này chỉ sai thì giờ ya bé chỉ bảo lù là bé tư mua bên sự tu tao này lo ai có khai rồi này hả thì nên sao chăm mua cho nên này chỉ nên sao chăm mua cho hai tiền ở nhà này mong theo ở nhà này chỉ bảo lù nó theo này chỉ sao chăm mua hai tiền này mong cái này chỉ mua bánh sự theo này chăm mua một kia rồi luôn là hai này nhà nó còn đó nơi ba chỉ tao yêu chủ lại yêu tụ khen hai tiền mong ví dụ hai tiền yêu này yêu chỉ tự chủ chỉ bảo ít lo lù là yêu chủ lần hai tiền của này của chỉ chủ tất nhiên nữa từ mua bản sự tu tao yêu nó còn đây hình năng lúc học pia năng hạt tiền sa cả số lần số tu cả yêu chủ lần yêu tu khen yêu theo lý trong lý trong đồng theo lý yêu để cho họ lúc học vào theo nửa sau gần gầu hạt tiền nhớ trả ino chỉ mua nửa nhau lại chế bên mong yêu chỉ nhắc cái gì lúc lại nó nói mà nên số tu nên dân rộng hay thì nhiều dân rộng sau mỗi nhiều lúc bản sự cho chơi nhiều ba tuổi ít tuổi nên chỉ tư rộng cha lại và nhiều tư bao là nhiều chỉ ba tuổi nên chỉ bao đỡ mình nên hãy là lồ hay thì giờ nhiều lúc tuổi nên đó nữ tư ở mai rồi đó là ya tiền nữ chọn ôn gì là yêu trắc luôn gì ya nữ chạy trắc ở mai ôn gì là yêu trắc luôn gì yêu chủ luôn nữ cho thầu thế ba nữ cho thầu ôn nữ chịu ở mai rồi mà yêu bạn đi cho chơi thầu đó theo đi xài hai tiền yêu tư ba tới ít tuần năng là ôn năng rong là ai cô Halina trâu này cho mình nhột xuống lên số tổ thia mình này hai tiền có cho chị của con đây có cho tọc về là có cái nhân vật của Isha thợ cô chịu là cái yêu chủ có tàu có nên nhân trong hai tiền giờ giờ mình này chợ một là mình này cho chị cho giờ cả bây giờ đời yêu chủ nhân trong nhà ba nhà tổ khen thia bây yêu chủ ba bây hai này có bây giờ cho luôn lực tổ còn đời mình này cho cái chia sẻ em khả năng cũng hai đứa nên cho tổ bao
Okay,
ai cũng cho rồi nên số lần số tổ này mà
Yeah, so first of all, thank you everyone for joining us today for this special day. Again, from our family to everyone, we do truly appreciate this time. And then, Ochoro Sharana. Well, and secondly, I'd like to say that, I want to congratulate to all the class of 2021, regardless if it's a high school graduation to people who are getting their undergrad to master, even up to a doctorate degree. This is a very different year, and you guys lived through a very nice, but different year. So again, congratulations to all you guys. So I will quickly talk about the importance of education and my brother, his view on education, and especially towards the youth. Coming from a minority community where that's something that it's always more prevalent, where, as my mom talked about earlier, we have to acknowledge our root and cultural heritage. That's something that really is the foundation to our movement, and especially for young college student who enter a university without any kind of role model, and thus in addition to that, we are faced with this cultural identity that we're trying to hide where we came from or cultural background. And that's something that, as my mom said earlier, once we learn to embrace the root of our cultural identity, we're like a tree that we can grow under any kind of circumstance. So today is the fourth year of Neng Thao Day. If he were here today, would have been his commencement at UC Berkeley. So again, this 4 years, particularly this year, is a very special year for Neng Thao Day, and especially for our family. And I just like to say that in terms of educational, what Neng is really, his emphasis is towards the youth, encouraging all his peers to keep going regardless of the any kind of obstacle that you face. You should be there for each other, helping each other, moving not forward but like side by side, pulling each other hand. And yeah, so pretty much I just like to emphasize that educational is something that Ning truly do emphasize for all his peer, and something that we would like to keep pushing. And we hope that the community will, especially the minority community, will also keep this going on as well. So Thunder, you want to talk about coaching?
All right, guys, again, thank you for joining us. My name is Thunder, and I am another of Ning's older brother. Ning's very lucky to have a lot of older brothers and sisters. I just also like to share a character of Ning and a small synopsis of Ning's life. So Neng, since he was the youngest in our family, then as a younger brother and as a son, he was very respectful of everyone, and at times, most of our memories of him as a brother, we remember him as someone who listens a lot. and someone who is very respectful of people, his seniors, and so growing up, I didn't think that he would be so bold and so charismatic, and it wasn't until he become a teenager that he really found his voice, and he really advocated for the things that he wants. So I understand that, especially coming from among a family, at times youth, they could encounter struggle to where they feel like there's so many layers on top of them, and that it's hard to voice out their ideas or opinions or things that are important to them. But I want to let the youth know that they hold very valuable ideas, and that could prove very beneficial to the community. Just like Neng, we didn't know that he have so many great and innovating idea until we see him doing his work with the mayor or with the city council members. So it really goes to show that all of us have all of our opinions are very, very important, and so it's critical that it's critical for the youth to be engaged in their community and to voice out the problems and the solutions that they have to their problems. I'd also like to emphasize that the youth themselves are stake holder of their community. So it's absolutely critical that they participate in their community and continue to be active a member of their community. Okay, and with that, I would like to transition over to Chia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you again, Bei, our family. We really we appreciate that today we have all of you with us celebrating Neng Thao's Day in the City of Fresno. So our family is very excited and also happy that we have the community to help us celebrate Neng Thao's Day. I think that something that our family would love to continue on, Neng's legacy, it's community empowerment, youth involvement, and the importance of youth education, investing in our youth in terms of educations and resources, because Neng is a strong advocate for the youth. He really found his voice with his peers and colleagues, and so we saw him in actions while he was the youth advocate in the city of Fresno. Our family, we want to continue to embrace Neng's work and missions and passions about to our youth, and then also to better our cities and communities of colors. And we also would like to call upon others to continue to do the same thing, that all of us have value and asset, especially our youth. They are the futures of our society, and so we should all continue to embrace our youth and making space for them to be the leaders that they can be. I think that is something that Neng really strongly advocate for, that he want his our youth to fulfill their potentials and their abilities. And I think that with that passions and commitment in minds, and with his strong characters of working with the youth, we want to embrace that identity of Neng. and continue to do that through our work. Each of us, our family members at different level, we try our best to either get involved with work that will directly be a mentor or in some capacity where we could really help our youth, because that is something that Neng's passionate about, because he saw the potentials in our youth, and that they could, that they are important and that they are such an important asset in our community. So we want to continue to embrace on that identity of Neng. To make sure that we, even though we're only touching one youth, Lord, that it's something that our families are proud of. And our goal is to continue to inspire in youth to be to advocate for their community, for them, their personal growth, and so in different capacity, we each of us are trying our best to fulfill that role, or like to make sure we also embrace the identity as we progress on through our own career journeys or educations. And so we would love to call upon others to do the same thing, that for all of us to really foster this youth empowerment together, that our youth is such an important asset of our communities and they are the features of our work, and that their opinions matters, and that their work matter, right? So we want to continue to embrace on that identity in our community, and then all of us should do the same thing. And with that note, we also would like to say that, if our family could help anybody with anything, please let us know. The communities, and has been such an important part of our of Neng's legacy, and we want to continue to carry on that same work. So if our family can at any capacity help, we are open and willing to help, and so please feel free to call upon us, because I think we grew up being in a family of server. We love to serve our communities. We love to help and foster and push our youth to fulfill their potential. And I think that's why we thought that having a scholarship in his name is so important. And so firms, and we'll talk a little bit about Neng's work and the scholarship with firms. But again, I think we kind of concluded our times. And if there's anything that we could help, please don't hesitate to reach out to our family. If we could talk to a youth, if we could help anyone, please let us know. So Jennifer, I believe our time is up, and I will move the floor back to you.
Yes, thank you so much to Neng's family for joining us to speak today. I want to say how much I admire the ways y'all have shifted a tragic story into something that has positively flourished in that community and made such a great impact. I think it's a very powerful message in the way that y'all have taken an event that has been very big in your family and giving it to the community to make it more positive influence is a very beautiful thing. And so I'd like to invite one of the youth who has been positively impacted with Neng Thao's memory to the space. So Charlie, if you would like to go ahead and turn your camera on.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charlie Lee, and I am a previous Neng Thao Scholarship recipient. I'm also a youth organizer here in Fresno. So I've been involved with the Youth Leadership Institute and the Boys and Men of Color. And if these affiliations sound familiar, it is because they are the same organizations that Neng was also part of. Now, I never knew Neng personally, as I joined these organizations after his passing, but it was apparent that his spirit was engraved into the space. I've heard amazing things about Neng and his work, and I've experienced his impact and legacy. I'm here to talk about Neng's legacy and what it truly means to me as a Hmong youth organizer. When we talk about legacy, we think of what's been passed down from one person to another, and that is what a legacy is, but it can also be described as something else. It's a gift bestowed by someone, in this case Neng, in which he has given our Fresno community such an amazing gift, the gift of space. Neng pioneered and trailblazed a path for other Hmong and Southeast Asian youth to follow. He always encouraged organizing and advocacy, especially to young Hmong and Southeast Asian youth, and he made sure that there was always a presence of them. If he was the only Hmong youth in a room, His singular aura was able to substitute a whole community. If he spoke with elected officials, his voice would carry the strength of multiple Hmong generations. Though Hmong families have not been in America for too long, Neng established in Fresno that Hmong youth can be catalysts for change and factors of change. He stood proud and unapologetically. He spoke passionately and intentionally. He listened attentively and thoughtfully. And this is what Neng's legacy continues as: taking up space as a young person, voicing the needs and the concerns of his community, and changing the Western narrative of the Hmong and Southeast Asian communities. From my experience doing community work as a Hmong organizer, I'm appreciative of Neng for establishing such a space. Though throughout my time it has not been named, Neng Thao truly was the blueprint for Hmong youth like me to do community work here in Fresno. He carried himself as a proud Hmong youth and openly shared about our history, our culture, our customs, our needs, and our stories in every space he stepped into. He spoke critically of policies and society when needed, as he made sure to input his Hmong identity and experience. He dreamed of an optimistic future and envisioned all Hmong youth to be capable of being leaders for themselves, for their families, and for their communities. His success at such a young age shows the importance of investing in youth. The skill building, the leadership training, and the confidence in oneself are all things gained from the spaces we shared. Though I've unfortunately never exchanged words with Neng, I feel as though I've connected with him on the spiritual level of organizing. And I'm sure the many things I'm feeling and experiencing today are also all the things that Neng also experienced. So to further explain, it is the feeling of unconditional love and support from your communities. It is this drive and this passion to work closely with our communities. And it's the joy and the happiness that comes when we're able to pass policies, but also the sad and the heartbreaking days when we don't. It is about sharing stories and building relationships. It's about this vibrational frequency that tells you must and you have to. It's this pride that comes with confidence and this value that one recognizes in their words. I can make change, we tell ourselves. We must inspire others to do the same, we also tell ourselves. So do you feel it? It's this passion in the heart that must be shared. Either by voice or by spirit, it is shared. And it is important for me to share these words and emotions with Ning's family and with our communities. For the work of us organizers may seem that they are based on our work and wins, but instead it's built upon the desire of equity and change in hopes that one day the dream we have for our community and society may become a reality. We thrive on that slim percentage, and I have shared the same dream as Neng. Our Southeast Asian and Hmong youth are leaders and change makers, but first they must get involved. Neng Thao's spirit still inspires us all today, and Neng Thao's legacy continues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlie. I really appreciate the ways that you plugged in how Ning has continued to positively make a change in the community. As mentioned, Charlie is a scholarship recipient of the Neng Thao Memorial Scholarship from FIRM. So I'd like to invite FIRM's Executive Director, Christine Barker, to talk about the ways Ning continues to make a positive influence at the organization.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christine Barker, and I have been the Executive Director of FIRM for a little over a year now. And since coming back to this organization now as the Executive Director, I have had the opportunity to learn so much about this incredible young man. And I am so sad that I never got to meet him, and yet I am so inspired by the impact that he has had, and that impact has really lasted. So we are, Neng was a key member of FIRM's Boys and Men of Color API leadership group. He was a key inviter. He invited people in and helped them see how they too needed to be a part of change, and they too could talk to legislators. They could go to Sacramento. They could advocate. And Neng was an advocate both for the Hmong and the Southeast Asian community and also other communities that were impacted. He was advocating on behalf of DACA students. He was advocating for the more just world that we all deserve, and especially our youth, and especially youth who have been marginalized by dominant society. And so it has been such an honor to meet Neng through the stories about him. It has been an incredible privilege to work alongside of Neng's family to honor his memory and live up to the vision that he set for all of us. And to really partner both for the Neng Thao Memorial Scholarship, which FIRM holds the funds for. So if you would like to support, you can do so and designate funds for the Memorial Fund on our website, www.firminc.org/donate. None of the funds come to FIRM directly. They go straight to the scholarship recipients. We are so excited that the fourth annual Memorial Scholarship has the deadline passed already. It was a week ago, and we had 9 qualified applicants who are being vetted right now by a number of judges, both inside FIRM and outside FIRM. And we are looking forward to announcing the winner in the coming weeks. And the winner will get a $2,500 scholarship to use towards their education. And so when we look at the scholars who have been selected in the past, Charlie is our most recent recipient. Charlie is going to Stanford soon. He didn't mention that part, I don't think. And we look at the previous winners, we see this, what we are looking for and what we see in the winners is this commitment to community, this commitment to education as a means to lifting up the whole community and to empowering the community, empowering youth to make a change so that we get to be the society and the community that we all deserve. So let's see, I think Chong is also on. Chong, do you want to turn on your camera? Can you join us?
Always forget I'm on mute. But hi, everybody. My name is Chong. I am one of the staff here at FIRM who also got to know Neng through his work, but I didn't personally meet him as well, too.
So Chong is the director of our Family Literacy Center. And do you want to talk a little bit about this book and how it fits together?
Yeah, definitely. So the book that Christine is showing us right now was a book written by Neng himself of a true life story told by his mom. So the reason we are sharing this book with you guys is because we wanted to fundraise it out to the whole community of what Neng does, of what he did in his high school years. This is to help fundraise for the scholarship for the winners, to continue on with their education, just like how Neng had envisioned, to further their education and hopefully reach their dream. Yeah.
And so not only did Neng write an entire book while still in high school in Hmong, he was a part of bringing Hmong class to Edison High School, right? He was organizing. And so this book he wrote for class and tells the real true life story. And his classmates helped illustrate it. And the first edition was published by Mr. Yang, right? At Edison High School, is that right? Do you remember?
Yeah, I believe Mr. Yang was the one who published it out first. So thank you to Mr. Yang for doing that and sharing it with the parents and with the Thao family as well too. And then Neng's mom brought it to our attention, and we had the honor to edit it a little bit more and publish it for the scholarship, just to raise funds for this upcoming winner for the Neng Thao Memorial Scholarship. Yeah.
And we know many of you have pre-ordered, and we are working on getting the final copies to you. So thank you for that. And once we have all the copies around, we will be able to sell them to the general public. So stay tuned for that.
Really quick, sorry. Let's I wanted to share again. The title is called 你做给说. It's so hard to translate the Hmong words into English, but the best we got was My Mother's Deepest Wish, and it was written by Neng Thao during his Hmong class at Edison High School in Mr. Ying's class.
Another way that Firm has kept Ning's spirit alive is that we have two different spaces that are named after him, one directly and one indirectly. So our conference room upstairs at Firm, currently not a whole lot of meetings thanks to COVID, but is named after him, and it is the Neng Thao Memorial Conference Room. So whenever we are strategizing, whenever we are coming together to make a plan about how we're going to help the community and change the community and change the policies to make it a more equitable and just place to grow up, we can do that with him as a part of us. And so that is one way that we remember him. Chong, what are these buildings that on the right side of the screen?
Yeah, so these cute little castles and buildings that you guys see here are little structures that are at the Family Literacy Center on Firm's site that the youth came and painted and decided to write Firm's J Ning as a play on Neng's name. It means family because Ning is so family oriented too, and he's always talking about bringing in everyone as a whole, So yeah, they decided to call it J Ning to play on Ning's name. Yeah, and then J of course means house. Yeah.
So it's also kind of like Ning's house.
Yeah.
So the Firm family is also Ning's house. And so we know that even though it was a horrific and awful tragedy that brought us together with Ning's family, we know that we are connected and that we remain connected, and we honor his memory every time we make our family bigger, every time we bring more people into the work and into the community and into the family. So we're so happy to be honoring him today, and so grateful to spend this time with all of you, reflecting on how we can continue this work and how we move forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fern, for presenting today. Not only was Ning a remarkable individual, he continues to highlight and uplift the amazing youth in our communities and organizations like Fern, too. With that being said, I'd like to invite another scholarship recipient, Eugene Vang, to this space.
Nhớ rằng cụ xã ở châu đầu Neng Thao, Neng Nia Thiết Gì Thiết Trí Neng. Firm, hip, Thia Tling Thua Tu ở tua cổng bê đầu Neng Thao Nu, ở yo inu chư sinh Thiết Trình Giang Heng, ở bê sở đời tua kê, Nho, Lu, Thiết Khỏa Giò, Nê Giò Neng Giò Kê, ôi tu yàn dư rong, đồ bê Thua Tu, Thia đồ bê Lu Dê Rong. Hi, everyone. I want to first start off by showing gratitude and appreciation to Neng Thao, Neng's parents and his family, Firm, HIP, our loved ones, and to our community members for joining us today on Neng Thao Day. I am so honored to be here with everyone, remembering and celebrating Neng and his legacy. Gu Lumbe Huua Chinuva Eugene. Gumanung yung nang hyong yu lo nyon to holu zomer said gudata ganda da luche ganda who UC San Diego tia o halu da yagong hao 99 Roots Empower California guya the youth organizer ba ja dun chai lua galalush ba chai lalu da ja galushi lalu shua tia bing su la ba be jining be lu je ja tia be haining. 20 years young, dancer, artist, UC San Diego student. I'm a youth organizer and leader with 99 roots in Power, California. My gender pronouns are he, him, his. My name is Eugene Jinu Va Vang. In 2018, I became the first Neng Thao Memorial Scholarship recipient, and I'm so grateful for all of the contributions from the donors to Firm and to everyone else who made and continue to make this scholarship possible. And most importantly, I am so happy and thankful for all of the love and care and support that I have received and have been showered with throughout the years from Nang's family and from our community. I am sad that I did not get the chance to personally meet Nang, but I know, and when I hear of Nang and his stories, I know that if our paths had crossed sooner, we would have been amazing friends, great brothers, comrades, because our commitments, passions, and values that we share are deeply intertwined, connected, and rooted together. And the ways that we show up and the ways that we lead is so that we can see and experience our loved ones and communities thriving and free. Whenever I think of and remember Nang, I am inspired to continue fighting, to continue being proud of my identities, my Hmong heritage and family and community, and to continue leading and showing up for the people that I care about and for the people that I love, and to never give up. This has been Nang's impact on me and so many other people around me in our community. I know that if Nang was here today, he would be so proud of the movement that young people are inheriting, building, and leading today. And I am here because of Neng Thao and because of all of the young freedom fighters, organizers, and activists who have paved the way for young people like me to own our power, our voice, and our stories to bring the change that we need and that we want to see in our schools and communities. I'm gonna just share some things with y'all to hype y'all up, especially for my young people who are on this call and who are gonna watch this later on. Young people are so powerful across California, especially here in our home region of the Central Valley, the heart of Cali. Young people like us are parts of movement that neither began nor end with us. And so we know that resistance and organizing in our communities have always happened, and it is trans, queer, Black, Indigenous, Latinx, Asian American, and Pacific Islander, Hmong, Southeast Asian, neurodivergent, disabled, young people of color who have always been at the forefront of these movements, which have been heard and are known around the world. Young people have been showing up to truth, to speak truth to power, unapologetically bold, authentically and genuinely beautiful and brave. And we're building together because we care and because we love, like Nang did for our communities and for our families. Hmong, Southeast Asian, and AAPI young people are rising in solidarity with our Black, Indigenous, Brown siblings of color, and together we are dreaming and reimagining a better world, a better community, free of the police, free of prisons and borders, because we know that the only safe communities and schools are those that are most organized, most funded, and most invested in, and where our people are loved and respected and can live and thrive in dignity. We know that a world where freedom, justice, and liberation is of abundance is only possible because we are here. Nang was here, Firm, Fresno BMOC, HIP. We are all here ready to fight because we have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And so I want to let everyone know who is on this call, especially the young people who is listening today, my peers, high school students, college students, graduates, congratulations, class of 2021. We are not alone, and we have never been alone. We are the ones that we have been waiting for. We are the ones that our ancestors dreamt of. We are the ones that are part of Neng's vision, his legacy, what he inspired and what he wanted to see. And we're here. And we're going to continue staying connected, deeply rooted in radical love, and committed to being together, to caring for each other and showing up for each other. Because when we embrace each other, we rise as one to provide collective care, healing, and love. And so I want to thank everyone for being here today in celebration of Neng Thao Day. And thank you so much for having me. With love and care, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experience, Eugene. Neng continues to make a powerful impact in our communities, and I appreciate that it continues to live through community activists and organizers like you. I would like to pass the mic along over to Jennifer to show a short video about Neng.
Thank you, Belle, and thank you everyone who has continued to stay engaged and tune in to this really special and important segment dedicated to Neng Thao Day. So Belle really, I think, summarized it very well in starting us off. But when we were approached by Neng's family, HIP specifically, and asked how we can help them celebrate and commemorate Neng, it meant a lot to us to be reached out. And them saying that, if Neng were still here today, that the work that HIP is doing, this is what Neng would have been proud of and would have been a part of. And that meant a lot. And so in creating this event, we also created this really special video that we are going to air. And I put a lot of heart into it. It wasn't the best, but I hope you all enjoy. And it's just a way to continue to let Neng's memory and legacy and accomplishments as a young person with so much fire, heart, and passion continue to burn within this community and within all of us. And so I'm really excited and happy to share this video. Neng was the youngest in a large family of 10 children. His parents are Neng Thao and Chong Vang. As the youngest son, Neng's family remembers him as a remarkably patient, humble, and extremely kind individual. He loved his family, especially his parents, and always found ways to praise them respectfully. Whenever his teachers and mentors speak of his achievements, Neng always directed the praises toward his parents or family. Neng also treated those around him with dignity and respect. Whether they were aunts, uncles, cousins, or friends, Neng greeted everyone with a contagious smile and had the unique ability to interact and bond with anyone. That is because he usually listens more than he speaks. Our family still finds it surprising how outspoken and bold Neng was out in public.
Good evening, President Ashton and all the fellow board members. My name is Neng Thao. I live in Touch Street, Area 6, and I go to Edison High School. What makes Edison High School so unique and special is our diversity. We know that a lot of our population are immigrant students. I'm here today with my brothers, the Fresno Boys and Men of Color, and we're here in hope that you will all support the Safe School Haven resolution. My family came here in 1996 as refugees from Thailand, and I understand how it's like to be the minorities. It would be terrible if I were to come home one day and my parents were no longer there. Schools should be and was established to be a place for students to be safe and have a proper education. And if we allow ICE to come onto campus and just take that away, it would be terrible, because we know that the students will be living in fear. They will always be watching behind their backs if they were targeted, and we can't allow that to happen to the students, because it not just affects them, but it affects their family, and it will affect their education as well.
Thank you, Mr. Thao.
So thank you for your time, and I hope you guys all take a look.
Thank you.
During high school, Neng met many youth through his school clubs and the Upward Bound programs. He recognized that many of his peers encountered barriers and challenges that were not being adequately addressed. For example, Hmong students at Edison High School were interested in having a Hmong language class. However, it was not offered. Neng led the effort of collecting petition signatures to establish Hmong classes throughout all Fresno Unified high schools. Through his interactions with various youth in Fresno, Neng realized that youth also have unique solutions to problems they encountered. Mayor Ashley Swearingen first appointed him as the City of Fresno's Youth Commissioner, where local youth work closely with the mayor and city council members to address problems affecting youth in the community and allocate funding and resources toward the issues. Neng was then later appointed by Mayor Lee Brand, where he voted to provide resources that help high school students find work opportunities and to create safe recreational spaces for youth. Neng also joined Fresno's chapter of the Youth Leadership Institute and the Boys and Men of Colors in his effort to advocate for solutions to problems youth face in the Fresno community. For example, he hosted the Friday Night Live event at Edison High School, which was part of a campaign to encourage youth to develop leadership skills and also promoted the reduction of underage drinking and using tobacco substances. With Boys and Men of Color, Neng advocated for schools to be declared as safe zones for students, free of threats from ICE and violence. Besides his advocacy work, Neng was also proactive as president of the Edison High School Hmong Club. He not only expanded the club's membership, but helped the Hmong Club establish a tradition of volunteering in the community. The Edison Hmong Club can still be seen today volunteering at events such as the Two Cities Marathon and neighborhood cleanup projects. The Edison Hmong Club also led the first annual Fresno Unified Hmong Cultural Showcase, where Fresno Unified School District staff learned about the Hmong culture. One of Neng's famous quote is, "So share your Hmong," or "proud to be Hmong." Neng was lucky enough to find his voice in the Fresno community, but he is most remembered for his effort and ability to help others find their own. He was rarely alone in his work and always recruited more than one friend to join him. For his family, Neng showed them the impact of youth empowerment and youth leadership. In just a short amount of time, Neng empowered and inspired many young leaders to rise boldly and take the initiative in leading their communities. His parting reminds us of the potential each young individual has to change their communities, and that the future is now, and the future is our youth.
Hello everyone, my name is Neng Thao, and first off I would like to thank and acknowledge the entire Youth Leadership Institute staff and board for putting this scholarship together, for the youth recognizing us for our hard work that we've done throughout the year, and if it was not for you all to lead and guide the youth of Fresno, we would not have been able to be as successful and be the leaders that we are today. So thank you all for being the wonderful people that you are, being awesome, investing your time and effort in the youth of Fresno. So thank you also very much for that. Now, I've only been a part of Wildlife for about a year. Within that year, I totally fell in love with the work that you all do, the different departments, such as the Edison Friday Night Live, the Fresno Boys and Men of Color, and the Fresno Youth Commission that I'm associated with. Through those departments, I've been able to grow so much and realize the importance of youth voice and youth advocacy, because in the end of the day, no one is going to make a change for us. We have to be the one that knows what we want, and we will be the one to take the initiative. And while I, such as you guys, are the one that helps guide us to get to our goal. So again, thank you all for that. Some of the specific things that I've done was advocacy, such as with the school board, when we spoke against deportation happened within school boundaries for the Safe School resolution, and also speaking with Dr. Joaquin Arambla. All of this has happened through the help of Wildlife. So thank you all so much for that, again, for giving the youth opportunity to be the leaders that they need to be to make a change in their community and have a more successful and thriving future for them and the generations after them. And so ways that I like to utilize my skills and bring these ideas out to the community is simply just reaching out and talking with people. I'm the president of the Hmong Club at Edison High School, so whatever Wildlife does, I let them know, inform them about how they can be involved and what they can do to make a change along with Wildlife. Not just that, of course, advocacy work, speaking out, making my point across about the importance of youth voice and what we have to say, and giving our 2 cents to them so that they acknowledge us and what we have to say. And not just that, bringing knowledge to the community, such as what I focus on now is the Southeast Asian community, because I see that not a lot of us go out into the community to know what goes on. And so what I'd like to do is let those that don't know what is going on so that they can support us and they understand what is going on in the community. So my 3 minutes are up. Thank you all for your time, and I hope to be the recipient of this scholarship. Thank you, and stay awesome. Love you guys.
I hope you all enjoyed that video. I'll be honest, it was very emotional and powerful to spend time creating and cutting this video. And I want to give huge thanks to Ning's family for trusting us and sharing these really precious photos and videos of Ning. I think the piece that really hit me the most was the 3 minutes of Ning talking. It really showed his love and passion for youth to get involved, youth to be able to make a difference in the community. And, you know, I think it's so relevant. And he was really way ahead of his time in believing so wholeheartedly in young people and their ability and their potential to make an impact in their community. And he is a beaming example. And I think the most beautiful thing was that he not only was an empowered youth, but he extended his hand and wanted to create this huge effect across young people and our communities to see that young people are valued, their thoughts, their opinions, and their innovative ideas are important and they can change the world. And it's just beautiful. So we're nearing the end. And before I bring in Nang's family to close us off, I also wanted to talk about, how can young people get involved? What can we do now? One of the most simple and straightforward thing is believe in youth, foster and invest in youth. When they express their passion and their love for something, feed into that, nurture that growth. And also, HIP, I'm really excited to mention that we have our summer organizing institutes for our youth and young adults. And the application deadline for one of the applications is coming up. Let me just put it on screen real quick so we're see the information. Let me see. So, for example, our summer organizing institutes, this isn't the first time we're running it. It's probably, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. It might be our second or third one. But as I mentioned, the one for the youth, the application is coming up in June 15th. So encourage young people that you know, young people in your network, your nieces, your nephews, your children, to apply to these summer programs and grow and hone in on their strength and their leadership and their ability to come back to the community and make a difference. The application that is coming up on the deadline is particularly the one for the Southeast Asian young adults ages 19 to 25. As you see here, the application is deadline is May 31st. So nearing the end of the month of May, which we're currently in, and we will drop the links in the chat to apply. But we've also been posting very much so on our social media platforms. And then other ways that you can get involved is to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These are our handles and our URL down below here. And then also, I'm going to bring Belle back in. She's been a great moderator for all of us. So if Belle, you can come on and just talk about Firm and how people can get involved and follow Firm too.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to the space, Jennifer. I definitely encourage y'all to follow and like Firm's Facebook and social media platform. We do have a link tree, so it'll be linktree/Firmunity. And we just do a lot of work in the community, including the Neng Thao Memorial Scholarship. And if you don't, and we encourage y'all to get more involved with our community too, whether it be as volunteer capacity or a donor. If you check out our link tree, it'll have the links to everything for y'all to join as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And again, just to remind you all that HIP Summer Organizing Institutes are coming up this summer. So please encourage your young people in your life, in your network to apply. And then now I am really excited to just bring Neng's family to join me to close us off with any last words and thoughts.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer and HIP and Firm, the platform, for helping us really organizing and providing this space for our family to really commemorate Neng. And because today is a very important day for us. It's a day where our family get together to celebrate and remember his work and his passions. And we want to continue to inspire the community to do so. As we're coming to an end, I want to thank all of you for joining us today. And I want for all of us to take back to the community that our youth have so much potential and we need to create a space for them. And then I want to call upon agency who have the abilities to make the space available. Please do so, as our youth is, you will be amazed by the potential that they can bring. And then to our youth, remember to embrace on the power that you have within you. Know that you have so much abilities and potentials to make a difference. And so please volunteers, continue to help your local organizations. You can make a difference, and it all start with us. And then please bring other along with you. Like Neng said, you would go, as you go forward, bring other with you. So I encourage all of us at different capacity, please get involved. Please support our youth. Please continue to embrace and know the power you have within you and bring other with you. And thank you for all the donors who had been donated to the Neng Thao Scholarship. We thank you. Our family appreciates what you have been contributing, and please continue to help us donate to the scholarship or purchase the book. So thank you so much for allowing this space for our family, and we look forward to working with you in different capacities in the community. So thank you so much. Call upon all the youth, get involved. You have the power to make a difference, and it begins with you. Okay.
Neng nè thiết sĩ nè bố mua lưu sau xã hải đô trồng tôi sai đại video thiết cảnh chỉ hở đâu lúc chỉ hở nó
liền của cho vấn đề nào của cho nên lúc còn học theo và lúc còn học phần nhà nó của cho nên cho cái lâu thế nên cho cái pha giờ ya hai tiệt của nè theo bé chuyện này bé giờ này tụi chẳng đâu là cũng chẳng hai tiệt nên vật sáng ngày này lúc còn học theo nên ở nhà nó ba này một trâu săn đôi những cậu ở xua dạng là này ở tàu rồng theo ít khó nó của hai trâu này này ở lúc còn học hai tiệt ya hai tiệt ya thứ này sao tao cái ba cho hai đã rõ là cho hai ya như thế mà bé chỉ mua bây giờ thì chỉ mua đào là ba tuần này là bây mua đã rõ thế bây mua bây bao đã chỉ là bây giờ ba tuần này但係bây giờ này bây giờ khi xe ba tuần này thì ở trong tuần này cho cái ba cũng cho tiền luôn nè bây giờ mình tuần này ở trong xe hàng tuần này thế cũng hay là lột车rồiจะตู้หลวนใส่หลวนhay tiệt nhà nó nên sẽ đầu chỉ cho chăm mua ấy nên chỉ cho chăm mua đồ này tụi khen này sợ chừng lại bây sợ đầu sợ lọ sai bây tụi khen cậu nhà nó trực tranh thia ấy cậu bây giờอยู่tụi khen mất bị xử lý hai tiệt rồi nên này hai đứa cũ hai tiệt rồi nên bây giờ tụi nàng thì để bây chỉ học để bây giờ rồi tụi mà mới đây yêu được bây giờ tự yêu bây tụi xả ta lọ nhà nó bây giờ chỉ trong khoảng thì đây ba chỉ tàu bây ta chỉ nó bây giờ lên đợt này cho lúa rồi lên đợt ta giờ tiền này là từ nhà nó mua bây sự thiên này chỉ cho chăm một đợt này tụi khen cái chỉ sẽ chẳng muốn thế kịp ba nhà nóอยู่giàu xe hay thìอยู่mong chơiอยู่ở chỗ làng hạt thì mauอยู่ที่ป้าเตยอยู่ตัวแค่อยู่ที่ป้าเตยอยู่เจนแน่อยู่ที่ป้าเตยอยู่ลูกnhà làอยู่hai nơi hụt đi xí thếอยู่ที่mà lên một ba tàu trâu sáng đầu thế nên số lên số tù ya hai thế này cho mình tôi mình xài thế tan thọ này sẽ là ya hai thế này họ sát tàu cái ba ra chỉ là này hai đầu bé bảo ya từ là bé hoặc khi xe ba trâu này thế ấy vào chỗ trâu này số lên số tù nữa
Halinda xưa là nâng nhẹ tới Halinda chị Halinda xưa ở chỗ này sẽ đầu thì ở chỗ lúc còn họ phường thì ở chỗ này sẽ đầu cho tất cả tuần nọ kia cho họ lựa nó thì ai ở liều nâng nhẹ Halinda xưa cho tuần xài rồi này chỉ sau tất cái chỉ xe này xong rồi được khưng cho cái yếu chủ tôi thấy chuyện là mua vào khỏi xe lúa chạy yếu chủ muaอยู่cho bằng sự thì mua chủ cho cái kinh tế nhưng mà qua là cái vấn đề qua cả liệu mình đang hayอยู่ซ้อมมาอยู่ใช่แต่กูหายนาโดนเนี่ยเสียว่าเจ้านะ
Okay, 我觉得以前子呢，我觉得恁真能识得到那叫路年路古正经，我比如我看到天当中对面都恁天女路明嘛，这被路适合这手里拿了时，这我真能到恁真能的恁，我觉得。
cho nó
All right, I'm going to bring Belle back, and we will essentially formally close off this time dedicated to Neng Thao Day. If Belle can come back on and join me, yes. So yeah, that is all, Belle. I'll let you close us off.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for putting all this together, and thank you so much, Neng Thao's family, for trusting us to have this event too. It's an honor to be able to hold this space honoring Neng Thao Day and all the amazing work he's done and that you continue to do as a family by uplifting our communities. Thank you to our scholarship recipients and for Firm and HIP for joining this space and speaking about the experiences that Neng has done to uplift our communities as well. We appreciate the viewers too. You also are a big part of this and continuing to carry on his name in a positive light and uplifting our communities as a whole. So thank you all, and we hope you all have a great rest of your day. And please remember to continue supporting Neng Thao Day. And if you have a picture of Neng Thao, it would be amazing if you could post it today. We use the hashtag Neng Thao Day and tag HIP and Firm so we can go ahead and share that positivity with our communities. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye, everyone.